Cameron, I really liked your video from last week. For the dumb jock of the family, I think you said some really eloquent and insightful things about the Olympics. As someone who's not much of a pole vaulter, I would say that you did a really good job of lending me your perspective as someone who sees the story behind the scenes. Moving on, or moving back, I guess. The last two videos we kind of talked about reboot potential. I mean, I think that it's interesting because you have said that listening to Jim Dale read the Harry Potter series is as close to a religious experience as you'll ever get. I mean, it makes sense because Harry Potter is something that means a lot to you because when we were young, we all read Harry Potter together, and then you grew up and it filled a little spot in your heart while you were going to school and you were away from home. And when we're talking about rebooting, really what we're saying is that marketing campaigns and branding campaigns realize that things that we grew up with have nostalgic, sentimental value to us. Sometimes nostalgia can be just for nostalgia's sake. And to prove my point, I'm gonna use some visual aids. When Mom moved out of her house, she gave me a couple of sentimental tokens for me to hold on to and I guess to give to you. But man, the nostalgia is just... So first of all, this blanket. Okay, I seem to remember a story of this blanket being your old blanket. The interesting thing is that on one side, we have a bunch of stars and planets, right? But then on this side, this blanket was brought to you by www.worldwideweb.com. Who owns that domain? This blanket does, apparently. Hopefully it'll keep my internet warm. So, talking about my love of Ghostbusters, this is an early Declan shirt. There is a picture of me and Sophie somewhere where I'm wearing this shirt. But this is when I liked Ghostbusters before Ghostbusters became Ghostbusters. Now we get into the PJ territory. We're wearing Pee-wee's Playhouse. He's got a scooter, the ending where he always like flies off on a scooter. Like, why isn't that a thing? Where in Los Angeles can I find a house with a Sphinx on top and an outdoor pool? Nowhere, okay? Nowhere is the answer. And if I did find that house, it'd be $3,300 a month. It would have one bedroom, half a bathroom, one spot to park your car, and you can have a dog less than 25 pounds. Tiny little Air Jordan. I know that you're an Adonis now, but it's weird to think that at one point, your feet were in these tiny little shoes. And not only were they in these tiny little shoes, we've got tiny little rocks that you were standing on. Look at these tiny little pebbles that you were walking on with your tiny little feet. This is geographical evidence that you existed elsewhere on the planet 20 years ago. I can't remember if this shirt was your shirt or my shirt. I think it was your shirt, but either way, neither of us attended Harvard. Sorry, Mom and Dad. How did you fit in this thing? Look at the little fashionista vest I'm holding right now. Get out of here. I feel like if I put this on now, can I even fit one arm in it? There's this pocket, there's an inside pocket in this thing. Money, money, money. You were poor. If they do reboot Brisco County Jr., you gotta wear this guy to the interview really well. That's what an audition is. The piece de resistance are these super sweet little Batman shoes. You're fortunate your parents are sycophants and they hold on to this stuff for you because you get older and you realize that these are identity markers, and then it makes sense that you have long, disgusting rants about whether or not, you know, Batman's nipples on his batsuit made sense for the movie and whether or not the last Christian Bale Batman movie was any good. Sometimes nostalgia is good for brand marketing, but sometimes nostalgia is just good for who you are. What is wrong? Look at this. There's a Band-Aid on the bottom of this. Is there a Band-Aid on the bottom of it? Oh no, it's just disgusting. Okay, good. Last but not least, I want to say thanks to Zachary Nims. After watching the Ready Player One review, he sent us the book that he published. The cover art is super cool. The art on the back is also really cool too. It's very like Final Fantasy VII meets Blade Runner. I'm looking forward to reading this. Nostalgia aside, Cameron, I love you.
Declan, stop!
Smile, do what I want! See, it fits. It totally fits.